Where do I?
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Karla Dawn Live Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're very well and having a great week so far. We're at Hump Day. I have a few things I want to talk about that have been going on in the world. Some sad, some celebration of life. Some are things that are part of history. And then I have a great guest. I'm not sure if you are staying safe with your social media, with your cell phone use, but we have someone that's an expert in cybersecurity, security measures, really an expert working with real estate agents and so forth. So you want to stay tuned because you're going to learn a lot of very helpful everyday tips to take precaution. Some of it may be like common sense to you, but it's something you can always hear again and just take that time to really focus. So this weekend, plan out a few hours to utilize some of the tips you're going to learn today on the show. I do want to say that the basketball game was awesome. Who enjoyed the NCAA? I love it. I love basketball. It's my favorite sport. So I want to congratulate Villanova, who beat Michigan. Yes, I was born in Michigan, so it was a bit sad, it was a little hurt to see Michigan lose. But I am a Spartan. I went to Michigan State, so I didn't cry over it. But definitely was rooting for Michigan to win. I have a lot of Michigan viewers out there, so I know they're very excited about that win. It was 79-62. It was a really great game. And this is their third national title. So that coach, that owner, they're doing something really good over there. So congrats to them. And really congrats to Michigan because, when you make it that far in the game, you did something right. It's not easy to make it into the NCAA finals. So kudos to everybody. Thanks for the love. I see the hearts. You know what I like. You know it. Absolutely. They're in Memphis, Washington, Atlanta. They're all remembering Martin Luther King. It's been 50 years since his passing. Can you believe that? 50th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King. So there have been major tributes going on around the country to recognize that, and you want to continue to bring this up. People say, oh, we have a holiday, that's one thing, but it's never too many opportunities to remember somebody of that importance in life. So I'm happy about all those things going on in Memphis, Washington, and Atlanta, as well as here in Los Angeles. People were celebrating his life and remembering him, and we continue to pray for the family. And did you guys see his granddaughter speak? How awesome. She's a up-and-coming little civil rights activist, I think. So he, as we all know, on April 4th, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated at the Lorraine Motel, and he died at the hospital at only 39. It's still hard to believe. We don't really think about the age that he was. He was only 39 years old. All that he accomplished by the time he turned 39, So everybody there, think about, what have you done in your life? What did you do by 39? He changed the world. He made a movement to the point that when he passed on, we continue to celebrate his life. That's staying busy. Staying busy. We all need to be doing something. Yesterday we lost Winnie Mandela, Nelson Mandela's ex-wife. She was 81 years old. She as well was a civil activist. She made big changes in the country there, an apartheid activist. She was a politician. So we want to remember her because she did so much. Every great man has a great woman, and that she was. She did a lot of great things. Of course, some people want to bring in negative things that she may have been involved in. I think the majority of her life was spent making a difference, fighting for the rights of her people. So I think that was a life well lived. Maya Angelou would have been 90 years old today. And on Google, did anybody see on Google how they put the image, as they love changing, of Maya Angelou, and they have all her poetry readings going through, and even Oprah Winfrey was one of the voices. So if you haven't seen it, I would say you click on the image of Maya Angelou where it says Google. It's so nice. It's about maybe 5 minutes long, but it's really, really special, and it quotes a lot of her poems. So in honor of her, why don't you look up one of her poems or get one of her books and read some of it and take a message that she wrote about and implement that into your life. I think we can all do that and take something that she said, because she said so many remarkable things. Thank you for the hearts. I guess you're in agreement. And implement that into your life and make a difference and share it with somebody else. That's how we celebrate. Instead of just saying, oh, that person would have been 90 today and then moving on, remember them and what they did to keep that legacy alive. Thank you. Who is that? I'm loving the hearts. And I say I rise. That was one of the best ones. I love her poem, I Rise. We are going to get into, like I said, some cybersecurity I just wanted to go through those few things with you. Also, my Uncle Marvin Gaye. A lot of people didn't even know Marvin Gaye was my uncle. He was married to my aunt, Anna Gordy, my Uncle Barry's younger sister. And he was assassinated by his father. Majority of the people do know about that. It was a sad day in 1984, April 1st. He was actually born on April 2nd. So people were celebrating his life and remembering the day he passed and posting things all over social media. I was tagged in a lot of them. I appreciate people for recognizing that and sending all those wonderful messages about Uncle Marvin. Again, play some Marvin Gaye music. Take the positive out of things. We know we all have something negative that happened to us or that we can think of in life, but why dwell on that? We're on location. There might be some noises. Bear with me. There's construction on one place and then there's like music on the other, so I had to go in the middle. So hopefully you can hear me okay and you'll hear the guests because we have some great things for you. But again, celebrate Marvin Gaye and thank you for all those messages. So we may have to move. No. So on set, I want you to welcome Eran Sinai. He is the COO of Consumer Guardian Law and also CEO of ID Cyber Center. So we all know about cybersecurity and cyber this and cyber that, the things you can't see, but it's doing a lot of things that you need to know about. So come on set, please. Welcome. Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Thank you.
I know.
Nice
Yes,
to meet
get
you.
the other cheek. I do the doubles. Love the doubles. Hopefully our mics are coming through strong. If it's too noisy, why don't we do it this way? If it's too noisy, let's flood me with hearts. If I don't see a flood of hearts,
No, because that's going to happen anyway. They're going to flood you with hearts. So that's just say move.
I know. We're going to be here, but the mics are pretty strong. Okay. I think everybody will hear us just fine. We'll speak a little louder. Because everywhere we are on location here is a little noisy. We're out in Beverly Hills on location at this wonderful hotel. I'm not going to identify where because we're all about security. So tell me a little bit about you and your life and how you got into the security business of cyber security.
Okay, thank you. So yes, my name is Eran Sinai.
I know.
Either way,
different pronunciations.
That's right. So, I background is in anything related to consumer law and cybersecurity, identity theft. Mm-hmm. Got into the identity theft area and developed ID Cyber Center about 2014, 2013, and our mission was to make sure that everyone has an affordable way to protect their identity, to monitor the information out on the dark web, to monitor their credit, and to be able to have insurance if something happens. There's a recovery team to work for them, and they can just have something affordable to, like a car insurance, like something that you just have and carry with you 24/7.
So that's what initially you wanted to focus on, helping people with these areas that you were seeing. What made you want to do that? You just saw it was a big issue?
Well, I had the personal experience at the time. Went through surgery, and my wife at the time was a donor. I went through a kidney transplant, and she was my donor. And after the surgery, we went to buy a car. A little while after, we went to buy a car, and the person at the dealership said, "Well, I'm sorry, I can't pull her credit." And I said, "Why?" And they said, "Well, because according to the bureaus, she's deceased." And so that's exactly how we look.
You're like, what?
Exactly. But the funny thing was that many years ago, I was witnessing another company, a big competitor, starting their business, and I said, you know what, it's great, but it's not really what people exactly need. It's what the company wants to sell. I want to give them what they need, not what we want. To make it more affordable and give them more stuff, and I swore that one day I'll do it. And that was it. That day I had to go back to Social Security, get a letter that's called Alive and Well, to bring her back to life, and then to clean up the credit, so even within the bureaus, to make the file to exist, and then clean up the collection, clean up everything from here, and then bring her back to life, so Social Security will acknowledge that she's even alive.
Oh my gosh, all that work. How long did that process take to clean that up?
Lucky her, she was married to someone who knew what to do. But
But the average person, it would take much longer.
a few years. Some people have
Wow.
experienced a few years.
That-
the average
oh
is
my-
at least 6 months.
Just to say I'm alive, recognize
Yeah.
me.
Today, the Social Security actually won't give you that letter because they will
Mm.
say, how do I know that you are the Karla that you say you are
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't buy a fake ID and you are not the pretender to steal someone's dead identity so you can rebuild your identity to be someone that you are not.
Correct.
So you can't even get that letter anymore.
Yeah, I guess
So-
security issues are just so rampant now
Yeah.
that it's hard to even know the difference between
Absolutely.
a legitimate claim and one that's a false claim.
Look, you can buy online everyone fake IDs, right? That's not something
That's
new.
easy, yeah.
But you can pay $40 and get yourself a Social Security emailed to you in a PDF.
Oh my goodness,
And
really?
yeah, and you can. There's so many things you can go online. There are websites that we're not going to give
Right,
the
yeah.
addresses, but in the dark world, what's it called? And you can buy stolen credit card with a guarantee. With a guarantee that if they won't work, you'll get your money back.
This is crazy.
So it is a crazy world out there.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of our viewers have had situation where they've had someone take their identity, or they've lost their wallet or their purse, and they've had to get their credit cards over, or someone just starts using it because you go to the gas station, they say watch out for those little devices that are there. People can, if they, and isn't there an electronic device now where someone could walk past you and take your information?
There are. I mean,
Like if your wallet's in your pants pocket or your purse, someone could just pass you and take your identity.
absolutely. Look, you stand in line in Starbucks or wherever you do get your coffee, for
Right.
example. Someone can be sitting there collecting data from your information too. Obviously, we're talking about the stinger,
So
which
there,
is
the
a
internet
much a bigger thing. But and I said that all the time. It's not necessarily that the hackers got more sophisticated. The tools that are available for hacking are so much cheaper and so much easier
Why?
to technology.
They're making, okay, so what technology has, it's been out for a while,
Yeah.
but if it's that dangerous to society, is there no control factor over?
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Apparently not. We don't have in the States any governing body over the internet. There are no
That's the
regulation
problem.
regarding
That's the
regarding
problem.
that. And anyone can go online and you can find where to buy
Anything you want.
anything you want as far as getting someone information. Look, there are information, there are things you can steal, people's cell phone number. There's so many things you can buy online to be a private detective kind of a thing.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Even in relationships, back in the day,
Absolutely.
people had to hire an investigator, but
Yeah.
they can be their own investigator
Absolutely.
today, basically.
They need it
because
today.
The tools are so accessible.
Absolutely.
Because that was the big thing, I think, having an investigator, because they had access to all these spy equipment, materials needed. But
Yeah.
you can just Google it and find it and just do it yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the world of private detectives is
Yeah,
disappearing
it's-
slowly.
Right, you don't hear
slowly.
about that so much.
Although, it's kind of funny how we're talking about costs, though.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'll give you an example. The city of San Diego changed the meter system, public meter system,
Right.
right? From quarters to credit cards.
Yes,
'Cause they
and we've
think-
done that in
we've done
Beverly
too.
Hills as well.
Okay. Here's the problem with that. So they thought it's going to save money because you're not going to have those people walking around
With-
dragging the quartering machine and
Right.
But what happened in essence is that it's gotten so much more expensive to the city because now they got to protect your data, your credit card data, from those machines from being hacked.
So they're
and
now
stolen.
responsible because your credit card
That's
is
right.
going in their machine.
That's exactly right. And the people that actually sit there and monitor and write codes and all the technology is much more expensive than the few people that walk around
Collecting.
So people don't think about it. I'll give you
No.
another example. Again, I'm using the city of San Diego because I'm in San Diego most of the time. Have about an average of 60,000 attempts per night for people hacking into the system, and I'm sure LA is
Into the
worse.
city system?
Absolutely.
60
Either to the
Oh my
energy, to the
goodness.
police department, to the citizens' information.
Right.
It's all the time. People hack to. I'll give you an example. Most common thing, people hack to the police computers. They drive around behind you and they plug your information to see if your license plate comes up or
Yeah.
whatever. So what citizens do, they hack into the computer system and make it so that while the police is plugging the information, the data comes really slow and they won't be able to get anything. and they're just people that upset that got tickets, people that are pissed at the city for one reason or another. The hacking tools are just available everywhere if you know what to look for. So
that's remarkable. Well, I know in CNN today, because I was looking at CNN earlier, there's the YouTube shooter situation and all that happened. But while watching it today, of all days, it popped up that there's this concern at the White House if they're being spied upon through cell phones and what's the Stingray.
Yeah, okay.
So they're talking about the Stingray. Like, what's a Stingray? They said it's the size of a briefcase, and if you're holding it, you can now access and tap into cell phones. What is this device?
So this Stingray is a device that mimics the cell phone tower.
Oh my goodness.
And tricks your phone to think that this device is actually a cell phone tower, so it can identify your exact location. Okay. Now, it's basically what's it called? It's IMSI catcher. IMSI is like the International Mobile Subscriber Identification of your phone. Okay. It's like, imagine you have Social Security, so the phone has its identity.
Right.
So what it does, it catches the identity of your phone. Now, the big controversy about that is it helps. Look, it helps. It's been in service for many years. I mean, back in '94, the FBI used it to catch a hacker because they knew his location.
So the Stingray's been around, and it's been called the Stingray.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. So, but what the big controversy, the issue is that what it does, and look, the CIA and FBI use it for interfering with, let's say, in Iraq or Iran, right? Iraq or Afghanistan at the time. Right. They use cell phone to detonate bombs. So they use that to find the location of this cell phone devices so they can get to them and neutralize them, right? But the issue is that it collects data not only from the phone that you're looking to find location, but from every other phone that's around it. So people say, wait, I know you're not looking at my phone, but you are looking at my phone.
But you have access to it.
That's exactly right. And that's where the big issue comes, okay? And there are some sophisticated devices that they don't only give your location, but also you can collect data, you can slow down your communication, so it will, if you're, God forbid, a terrorist or something, they can slow down so you won't be able to communicate, you won't be able to make phone calls, and they can interfere or record your conversation, see who you're calling, what numbers are you calling.
My goodness.
So it's been in service for a long time.
It's been around,
yeah.
But I guess in this administration now, they're making a big issue on, because of the Russia investigation and Trump's being investigated. So now there's this panic and probably concern amongst them.
Absolutely.
So it's probably been around, but now it's like, we don't want that here anymore.
That's exactly right.
We don't want that device here because it's helping you.
That's right.
I see, yeah.
But look, we live in a time, and originally, look, I'm from Israel originally. I've been here for many years, but we've always grown up that at every mall, every shopping entrance, there's a person, a guard that looks at everyone's bag before they go into every shop.
That's how it is in Israel.
Yeah, imagine that being here. Everyone, I'm going to sue you because you're touching my bag
you're
and you're looking through, and you're not just
things.
looking. They move stuff around.
Right.
But it's a matter of survival. Look, people don't appreciate here in our country. What does it take to be able to feel free and live free like the way we are? I mean, it takes a lot. I mean, think about department stores. Think about all the abundance we have here, but you feel safe going to every place you go in. And how do you think we feel safe? I mean, we feel safe because there are people who work behind the scenes diligently and 24/7 to make sure we are safe.
Sure.
Hey, you know what? We got to use what we got to use to make us safe.
That's the reason.
How we use it, that's the question, and that's what everyone is saying.
Right. So those same things that are helping something positive are also being used against people negatively.
Right.
So for the audience to help with just average day-to-day cell phone. Okay, so a cell phone. You're compromised with a cell phone, and you can be hacked on your cell phone. You can have people read your text messages, follow your phone calls, like you said, but not with that Stingray. Other ways. If you're on the internet, I'm hearing that then makes you susceptible to anything.
Look, like we said, at the event last night, and we were talking, and you can ask the audience, what is the best way to make sure you're not being hacked on your computer? Is not to turn your computer off, it's to disconnect it from the internet.
See, I would say turn
the
it off.
computer, right.
That's what I want to do when I feel I'm being compromised.
The
Just
thing
don't
is,
go on the internet.
But again, you can't stop
You can't
living.
stop.
The one thing you can do, and there are a lot of common things we can do, but one thing that people really don't think about is our home routers. How many of us have Wi-Fi at home?
Most people.
Most people, right?
Most people.
When was the last time you checked your Wi-Fi, your router, your box, if it was upgraded or how recent? Have you had it for a while? If you did, look, with all due respect, those boxes are being manufactured in other countries. We're not going to name them right now, right?
Okay.
But I don't know what's put on them, what's installed on them. When you have a Wi-Fi at home, change your setting to, rather than say your last name, change it to private. So first of all, if people trying to find them, you make it a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
Again, we can't prevent it, but
Right.
we can do what we can to protect ourselves.
Right.
So remove your first name or your last name, call it private, change the setting to private.
Because automatically the default is to go to your name on your account or something like that, right?
Well, no. When you set it up, you get some whatever random something.
And
most people go, I want to do it.
My name.
The Clara family, right? The Clara house, right? But
Right.
don't
Don't
do
do
that.
that.
Change the
Don't
setting.
do that.
Don't do that. You can change the setting to private, so people can't know where you are from.
Okay.
2, check with your cable company how updated is your router, because those things get security updates all the time.
So just call the cable company and
Say, hey, my router, here's my serial number. When was the last time my software was updated? How secure is my router?
and it's free to return them. You just take it in, they'll
That's
exchange
right.
it, no problem.
Absolutely. So those are small things, because look, people can access your information.
Yeah.
If they access your home, everyone's talking about technology, how you can turn your AC off or on from remotely
know.
from your home. But
Yeah.
when you're on Wi-Fi, people can access everything that's
you're
connected
saying.
to that Wi-Fi.
So every app that you've downloaded
Absolutely.
it puts you more at risk, because every app comes with their own terms and agreements.
That's right.
And there's another one. People say don't use Facebook Messenger. Someone told me this about 3 years ago, a friend. So I deleted it because they said Facebook Messenger, their terms and conditions and their accessibility that comes with saying yes is just remarkable.
It's,
too much, too very invasive.
Right, it is. And when you have Messenger, for example, it picks up. There's crawlers, so it's software that picks up your voice, recognize your voice, and all of a sudden, how many of us talk about something, and all of a sudden the next day we pick up the phone, it's like, wow.
Yes, yes, that happened to my daughter yesterday.
Okay.
She was talking about something and boom, it just popped up on her phone. She's like, oh my God, this is scary.
Look, it's everything, even we go even to the basic Google. What is Google? Google is based on information we feed into Google
Right.
to then spit it back to us and recognize what we need and try to sell us something. It's free advertising,
Right.
So it's free advertising. If it's free, you're gonna expect you have to give something in return. Nothing
Right.
is really free.
Right.
They get your data, and Google is based on our knowledge. Everything we feed, that's how we find things. It's not someone sat here and entered all that information.
Right.
Right? So all those things, you just got to be careful. Again, we can't stop living.
Yeah. Minimize the risk, I guess,
minimize
is
the
the
risk.
purpose.
Look,
You just
we
want to
do-
try to minimize.
Yeah, exactly.
People, now what is the most common mistake people are making out there when it comes to security?
There's not one mistake. We can spend here a few days talking
What
about
are,
mistakes.
what are a few of the most common things that you feel people can do something about that they don't?
Well,
Like the one you gave with the router, that's one.
One. Two, don't think, believe it or not, I bet you that many people that listen and watch us, are watching us now, don't have on their Facebook two-step authentication. So if anyone tried to log into your Facebook from the outside, you will get a text first to verify that.
Oh, okay, so that would be in the security?
That's right, in the security setting.
Okay, so you go into the security setting and push that you want two-step verification.
Yeah, and it'll be
instead of one
authentication.
verification, there's
That's
a
right.
second. I've seen that, yeah.
So, for example, I have it. So, my assistants in my office, I have two assistants here in San Diego, and let's say they do my social media, one
Yeah.
of them. So, if she would, when she tried to do something at the beginning, if we change something or change computer or whatever it is, I will get a notice first, and I'll have to approve that.
So
Right?
you know somebody's tampering with
Exactly.
your account.
Same thing with your Gmails. A lot of us realtors use Gmails to send to send messages, which is insane.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Well, Gmail is so connected to everything. Everything you do, it seems like they say you have to have a Gmail account, like YouTube.
Yeah.
Anything you want to load, you have to be. So it
Your
makes
Apple,
it different.
Your phone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You sign in with your Gmail account, and all your information comes right down.
All the information.
What do you guys think? I mean, they're doing you a favor? It's not exactly that.
It's a way to get your information.
Absolutely.
But probably for marketing and for the better of the company, maybe. But there are employees there that have access now.
There are always bad people around, of course. They want to use it because it's about money. They want to try to sell you. That's fine. I have nothing against that. Try to sell me. I'm okay. I can say no, right? But unfortunately, there are bad people everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what we got to watch.
Okay, so we've knocked out 2 tips for you there on things to prepare that we're not doing. The password. Let's talk about the password.
So in 2017, the most common use, actually, I'm sorry, 16. I don't have 17 information yet. For 2016, the most used password was 123456. And the second one was the word password.
Oh, that is crazy that
Still
people
in this
would do
day and
that.
time.
How many of you have the word password as your password? Please tell me, not my viewers.
No, of course not.
I have very smart viewers.
Of course.
Really? That many? Oh my God.
Yeah, and when you choose a password, you want to make it so you can remember. I understand that.
Yeah.
Right? But you think you're making it difficult by putting your name with your dog's name, or your wife's birthday, or your son's birthday, right? You know what? Don't.
No.
The reason you get software with random letters and numbers and characters is for a reason, because it makes it more difficult, not impossible, but more difficult. Look, if someone's going to target you, if it takes them too long to try to hack, they're just going to go to someone else. It's not like they can.
Right.
I want to tell you, if someone wants your information, they get it no matter what.
If you're the person they definitely want to get into, they're going to do it. But if they're just looking for anybody to get into, they're going to go for the easiest. They're going to go for the easiest
Look,
one.
it's with Stingray and whatever. It's like, look, your information is out there, whether you like it or not. If you don't want anyone to know about something, guess what?
Don't put it on there.
Don't put it on there, and don't tell anyone. That's how it is, right?
It's hard because people don't mail anymore.
That's
so when
right.
you have to send information, you have to email people. You
Well,
have to text people.
Let me ask people here, how many of you, when you have to send letter out, you put it in your mailbox, you have a house, and raise the flag on the mailbox so the mailman will take it? There's still a lot of people that do that.
Are people still doing that with it? Look, someone does it. They tell me by your heart.
Yeah.
So you put the mail, and then you put the thing up to let you know, I just put something in here.
I'd recommend don't do it.
Yeah.
You never know who's going to pick it up. And what if it's a credit card bill? You send out. Everything is there. What else do you need? Don't. Go to a mailbox. Put it in a mailbox. You know what? It's good for your exercise. Walk to a mailbox.
You killed 2 birds in one stone.
That's exactly right.
And you got some exercise.
What about your emails? How many of the people that watch us have more than 100 to 200 in the inbox? Right.
Anybody with me? I've got way over 100 emails in there. Yeah.
And then look, if it's there for a week or 2 and you haven't read it, you either lost the sale, no one's going to talk to you anymore, or it's not important. Just delete it already.
It's old business.
And delete it from your deleted box. If someone hacks into your email, and just to think because you put it in separate boxes and you name them separate, it's going to be safer. It's not. If it's really important, download and save it.
Got it. So this is something we had talked about. I want to make sure people get this. So if you're an email and you want to make folders, and you can do that and say folders, he's saying don't leave it in your folder, because if you're hacked, they will get access to the folder. So put it in your folder and then download the folder onto the computer or onto a chip or whatever, somewhere else safe.
That's it. Look, just actually today, earlier, I got an email and a client, and I haven't dealt with it yet, but it's really crazy. Someone, they live here, they're veterans, they have a house in North Carolina. The house was rented, and the house was sold from under their nose without them knowing, and someone took the money. Yeah,
there's a lot of that. I tell people don't even do Craigslist, because people are putting your property up for rent and for sale, and
they're cracking down on them. Like I don't know if anyone ever here was on personals on Craigslist. They shut it down. There's no more. the Congress went up and they wrote something because now they made Craigslist liable for if any third party is going to use the information in Craigslist. So they said to Craigslist, you're going to be liable because there are too many cases of violence and murder. So
it was,
if you try, you guys go on Craigslist personals, you'll see a message due to Congress, whatever, it's done. It's gone.
Well, it was definitely a safety risk.
Absolutely.
That's
so
good. They did something right.
Yeah,
Yay.
absolutely.
I like that.
But you gotta watch. You gotta watch your information, and we can't stop living.
Right. Now, one of your passions is helping real estate agents. You did tap on that just now, but there are situations where wire transferring of money is compromised. The security in that, the best ways to prevent as an agent to secure your business, listing the house, the lock boxes, coding. I mean, what do you find are some of the big issues with that?
The biggest issues last year in 2016, actually 17, $16 billion were lost in wire fraud.
Ooh. For real estate transactions?
Real estate transactions, which means people wired money thinking they're wiring to the seller.
Yeah.
And the money never got there.
And there's no way to get that back once it's gone because they go overseas. Right?
Absolutely. Once the wire transfer is done, people say, I'll do wire recall. But look, someone is there on the other side waiting for that money. They're not waiting for you to do a wire recall.
Let it sit in an
Exactly.
account.
No, they're waiting and they're pulling the money in their gun. And
that is a tremendous amount of money.
It is. And there were actually a couple of lawsuits against the bank. And it wasn't in favor of the plaintiffs, meaning the bank were not found guilty because the law says, and there's a law that says that the bank has to do everything within their ability to the best of their knowledge to verify that the information given to them for the wire transaction is correct. They can verify.
Everything was lined up properly.
That's right. The bank cannot be held liable for it. So, and apparently now people are going after realtors. Why?
No, don't do that.
But you know why? Because they're saying that all happened because the realtor's emails were hacked. The email of the realtor was hacked. That's where the hackers got the number for the escrow company, called the client and said, look, I'm calling you because I'm from so-and-so escrow company because we don't wire instructions or account. We're not going to email wiring instruction. I'm going to give it to you over the phone.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that.
Have that conversation. Do not email that information.
And you call back or talk to your realtor. I said, hey, who do I need to call? You give me the number. I'm going to call them to verify my wire instructions.
Got it.
Don't take emails. A lot of them won't even email it to you anymore. They'll email it and call you to verify. But even if they call you, got to make sure. Because people are even, it's crazy, but people are even
I'm cold out here.
porting the number. Porting the number so when the call comes through, you think it's the escrow, but it's really not. So again, I mean, I don't want to depress everyone because it's like
so tricky.
Might just as well go live in a hole and disconnect from the internet, and
it does depress you, and it's very frightening. But like you said, you just have to be aware, be sensible, think about the way you're doing things, and take the best precautions that you can. I mean, like you said, we have to live and we have to utilize electronic services and the internet. But sometimes we have to go back the old-fashioned way, make a phone call, get the information in through a phone call.
Absolutely.
Especially when it's something that much money that you're transferring.
The biggest investment in your life,
yeah,
right?
you're putting $300,000 for a home.
No, in LA, you can't buy in LA.
Yeah, I know. That's a down payment. That's a down payment. But you're sitting millions of dollars. You want to pick up the phone on that one. You want to make, whatever it may be. I don't care if it's $50,000, whatever is of value to you.
Yeah.
And it's worth calling, or do you want to shoot the email for convenience? Yeah. Convenience can kill you.
That's right. And you get email from your bank. Don't click on any links in your email.
I always get those.
Yeah. Don't.
Little random links and things. I ignore them, but people are really
People do. Especially if you get an email that says, look, you may have gotten an email that, because they'll send you one email and then they'll send another email saying you may have gotten an email that your passport has changed or it was fake, it was not. Please don't press on any links. Go to this link to make sure nothing happened.
Oh, that's a good trick.
All right, so they do that.
And people think, oh great, this is the real bank.
That's right.
Protecting me. It's the same people.
They go to the bank's website.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
That's a good trick.
It is, and look.
That's a bad good trick.
It's a bad good trick, right? But it is a trick. It's dirty, but just go to the main website of the bank.
My goodness.
and do all your transactions.
I've done
from
that.
there.
People call me too, and I say I don't do anything over the phone. I won't do. I'll call the bank. No, man. I'm sorry. I'll just call the bank. You know.
And the IRS is not going to call you that you owe money. You know, don't get. And it happened to me personally. And someone called and on your and you said I am ID number so and so, and you owe money. Do you want to pay it? And I know it, but I look at the number and I know that that's again ported too. So he said, no, I'm going to call back. He said, no problem. You hang up, you call the number, your display. Guess what you're getting? You've reached the IRS. Right? Whole time is about 45 minutes, and you're like, oh, you know, shoot, right?
Right.
You hang up the phone, and guess who calls you 5 minutes later? The same agent said, so are you going to deal with that or not? Now you're freaking out because you're thinking it really is. So, you know.
That's why the elderly, it's really sad for the elderly, because I think at a certain age they just should not deal with any of their finances, not even answer their phone, because they're being, you know, targeted by these people.
Yeah, elder abuse in that, when it comes to that, is tremendous,
It's
unfortunately.
tremendous,
And, you know, the number one state with identity theft and fraud of that sort is Florida. And why? Because most retirees,
Or in Florida.
most people in Florida are going to Florida.
So they probably target retirement areas,
That's
like
right.
Palm Springs and on all these others. They were
Absolutely.
wow,
Absolutely.
interesting.
Absolutely.
God, the minds. I wouldn't even, you know, I'm not even thinking about these kind of things, but it's true. So many things to be concerned about. Gosh, what more can we tell? I want to make sure everybody has the most. Home alarm security we discussed, right?
Right.
How to protect on that. Now they're doing there's medical issues. People are going online with their medical records on their phone. Right away I thought, that's crazy. I mean, that's one of the most invasive things that you protect is your medical history, and they're putting it on the cell phone. I always look at a cell phone as something that can be hacked. So, you know, and I hear machines in the hospitals are being attacked now. So, I mean, how do you get around that?
Most important thing, when you go to the doctor, you know, you have a form to fill in.
Yes.
And it asks you your name, your last name, your first name, your social security, your medical ID.
Right.
Do not, under any circumstances, put your social security number.
Really?
Absolutely. They cannot
always
refuse
ask.
service. They cannot. And if they say, what's your social? I said, I'm not putting it in writing here. What do you need it for? You know what they need it for? They need it
In
for
case you don't pay your
That's
bill.
exactly right. That's exactly right. So don't refuse to put it on there, because what do they do with the paper? How do you know they shred it? You know how many medical identity
know.
from doctors' offices, and then you come a year after and they ask you the same thing, and you're like, wait, what did you do with my form from last time?
Right. I gave you this already. Why am I
Exactly.
doing?
Don't do it.
Don't give your social security number when you fill out those forms. It's not.
Absolutely.
I think in many cases people ask for social security number and you legally don't have to provide that. So just challenge it. I would say people just, if something doesn't feel right or if you don't want to do it, just challenge it and say, you know, show me that I legally have to do that.
Absolutely.
Because that is one of the most protected things it used to be until we had the internet.
Because look, at the bottom line, if you do have and you don't pay, I mean, it sucks because collections, but, you know, and credit is a big thing, but don't have to provide the social security. And you can tell me if you need something, you can email it to me or send me in writing. When a collection company calls you and you have no idea whether it's yours or not, right? When they call you and they need to verify your information, just say, that's my name. And if they want you to verify your address, or just look, tell them anything you need, please send it to me in writing. And if it's a collection company, especially because of medical things we were talking about, so by law you can tell them, look, I'm issuing you a cease and desist at this minute. Please do not call me anymore. Take their information, the phone number and the name of the person, and you tell them everything you need from me, you send me in writing and I will respond. And if they call you again, if it's a legit collection company,
if it's a legit.
then you can sue them. If you issue them a cease and desist.
You can do a verbal cease and desist
Absolutely.
like that? Right there.
Absolutely. If you told
But
them
get
not
their
to
information
call,
first and then say I'm issuing.
that's exactly right.
And you have the phone number to put it with.
That's right. The problem is that so many collection companies are basement kind of companies. And that's not the same about hackers. Hackers are real organization. They're not guys working for a basement. So
that's true too. So many different things. Is there anything that you work on? I mean, this came from a personal experience.
Absolutely.
All this passion, all this information you got, so you started researching and finding out after you were personally attacked in that situation, and you just decided, I'm going to go and help people.
Yeah, well, I was in the field for the past over 20 years, right? All the consumer related issues with
Right.
identity
On
theft
that
and
part.
cybersecurity. But once it happened to me, I was determined to get software, to get things that would help people more than what there is out there today, and that's what we did.
Okay. Is there any type of protection devices people can put on their phone to help them? Or
On your cell phone, I tell people use a VPN, which is a virtual private network. So
Okay.
it protects your data. It's like having protection for any software issues on your
okay.
laptop.
So how do you get that number?
You can go find Google what VPNs are recommended for your phone.
Okay.
And look at reviews. And you can use some of those on your phone.
great,
It slows you down a little bit. It's a little bit of a pain, and you know what? But
it
it's
keeps you
worth
safer.
it. Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
I guess.
That when it comes to your cell phone, and look, try not to use as much as you can. And if you're sitting in a public place and you're using the public, do me a favor. Don't do your banking.
Yes, if you're on the public Wi-Fi
Yeah, don't do
somewhere.
banking.
Yeah.
I know you have to
Don't.
because a lot of us work in coffee shops or whatever, but don't do your public.
Yeah, like now we're out publicly. You know, when people log into a hotel Wi-Fi or a restaurant Wi-Fi or a Starbucks Wi-Fi, are they retaining any of that information from your phone?
You know what? The truth is, who knows?
Yeah.
But no, supposedly.
Okay, they're supposed to be not.
They're not. But if someone's
somebody
trying to get into it, maybe they can.
I
So
see.
don't do banking.
Because people
Don't
can
do-
access, if they have the equipment, they tap into it, and anybody that's logged on, they can see the information.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely. And how many of us sit in a coffee shop and do our banking, or go on the phone and talk to the credit card company, put the phone in and work and while they're disputing and talking about their credit card number, and everyone
People
around
are
is
listening
listening
around you.
Exactly. So it's so random that you
I
don't
know.
think about it.
It's common sense, like you
That's
say.
exactly
It's
right.
common sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know, everybody. I hope these tips have helped. I really hope that we've covered. Did I get enough into the real estate part that you work on? I want to make sure
Absolutely.
because there's so many angles. One thing I want to add is the cameras. When cameras are watching us, you know, do you feel that's right for security? People are complaining that is invasive of their privacy. Is that it's?
Yeah, I think it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if everyone saw the Boston bomber movie that was that's not the name of the
marathon?
movie. After what happened, with the marathon, and how did they find the guys? And it was
The cameras,
the cameras, right? So, and it was tremendous effort and work, and the guy had to think about, okay, if they were this street, what cameras could have captured them? You know, and we are lucky. I mean,
Right.
those guys got
They got picked up, yeah.
picked up in a second.
Like
right?
with anything, though, there's a good thing about something,
right.
and then there's a
That's
negative
right.
to it. But it seems like those are even evasive. But I don't know. I think all in all, common sense. Take some of the precautions that we just shared with you here. I definitely know I will have. Some of them I do already, like closing the windows. I have to do better with getting rid of some of my email.
Your windows you mean on the computer, not at home.
Right, on the
That's true.
computer at home.
That's fine.
and then the online banking, because if I'm on Facebook on my computer, I don't do it on my phone. I really try. It has to be a real emergency for me to log on my phone. But at home on the computer, I will not open my banking while Facebook is open. Someone told me that
Very
could then
smart.
share information. Is that
It
correct?
could. Everything.
Facebook would see what I'm doing because
I don't know that it's exactly possible, but I know a lot of people that cover the cameras on the computer.
mine is taped up.
Yours is taped up too.
Yeah.
Okay, so look.
Can
like
people
you said,
see us really? Can people see us?
Well, I
if you have
think
your
they can see it.
if you have your cell phone in the bathroom and you're searching your internet, can somebody see you?
I'm not even going to get into it, but and how much of us like to sit in the bathroom
Or if
and
you're
look?
Yeah, people go in the bathroom.
So they'll see my face. I don't really care, but that's fine.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you're showering, maybe you got a movie playing. I don't know what people do with their cell phone in their room, but I mean, wherever you're in your room and you just may have no clothes on and you're in your bedroom with the phone. People say because you click you authorizing these apps to access your
That's right.
camera, your contacts, all this,
Absolutely.
and that opens your contacts up to be susceptible to a hack, and everybody.
And that's what we were talking about. That's how, with Cambridge Analytica, that's what happened. So because when you sign up an agreement with Facebook to agree to the terms and or conditions, and you share your contract with Facebook, now this company has access to all your contacts.
Yeah.
So that's how it
Wow.
quadruple and tendruple or whatever.
Right, it
to
spreads
so
like a
many-
virus
that's
to so
exactly
many.
what happened. And that's how they got to so many people's information.
In that situation, but it's not just Facebook. We don't want
Yeah,
to love Facebook. We're on
absolutely.
Facebook Live, but it's all different
It's
apps.
everywhere. Exactly.
WhatsApp, I know it's very invasive. I didn't want it forever. I stayed away from it. But when someone's out of the country that you want to keep in touch with, there's certain apps you just gotta download.
I agree.
You know.
And look, when you, with the Equifax breach and everything, your information is out there, and there's a price for it. And I can tell you, I looked it up last week. The price tag quickly. So your Facebook information in the dark web, people will pay between $5 and $6 for it. Your PayPal account is worth about password is worth about $250, and your personal information from Equifax depends what you're worth, but it could worth anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 for your identity. And think about it, 148
People
million
are paying
people.
money for this. Yeah.
That's exactly times a few $1,000s. That's a nice paycheck. So
My goodness.
monitor your information, check your credit, just to make sure. If you haven't checked it, check to make sure there's nothing there you don't know. There's
Right,
no
periodically check it.
there's no strange addresses. Also, what a tip that not a lot of people do, once a year, get a statement from your health insurance company. So do kind of an x-ray of all the expenses you had throughout the year, and make sure you recognize everything. Because some of it might not be you. Some people might be getting medication not
Using your information,
Exactly right.
And you just get the final bill from the hospital saying you owe this. You just
That's exactly
go,
right.
yeah.
So make sure you scan it
That's
to make
true,
sure
too.
it's all yours.
Right. I would like to add one more thing. We're about to wrap up. Is that at the panel, you spoke at a panel at the Beverly Hills Chamber yesterday, which was great, a panelist about cybersecurity, and that's how I met you. And one of the gentlemen that was in the audience said on Google, you can go and they have all your information. Because Google, like we said, is everywhere. So they retain forever anything you've searched, any information you've provided, all your emails, and you can go and have it cleared.
Yes.
Is what he was
There's a
saying.
way
Is
to
that-
do it,
there's
and
a-
I'm not going to get into it now
Okay,
because
no,
it's
yeah.
coming. But
there's a way to-
remember, there is a way. It's relatively very new.
Okay.
But so I can't tell you how well it works. But look, www means World Wide Web, right? So when I went on Google, if I got your information, if I downloaded it or I kept it or I got what I needed to, I got it already.
Yeah. So even if you clear it, they've
Yeah, you'll go
If
back and you'll do
there's- yeah.
more stuff, but I'm not
yeah.
saying you shouldn't
Moving
do
forward,
it.
it's
Yeah.
probably something good to do on a regular basis
Absolutely.
versus what
Clear-
happened.
Even a simple thing is just clear your cache and cookies in your computer.
Right. And that's pretty simple. It's a matter of click, or you go to File.
File, and you go to your setting, and then you may have to go to the advanced setting, and then you go to your history, and then in the history you'll be able to see clear cache and cookies, clear recent website, clear recent things, the auto Chrome filler that
Okay.
fills up your information. Clear those from time to time. Make
Yeah.
sure.
Like maybe
that-
once a week or
Absolutely, I do it
so
all
everybody,
the time.
that's really something. If you haven't taken but a couple things away, I think this is definitely one of the key.
Absolutely.
Simple to do on your computer at minimum every week to go into there and clear your cache and your cookies.
Yeah.
Because I even have sites recommend that to me.
Yeah,
They'll
absolutely.
say, we recommend after you finish the site, clear your cache because
Yeah.
they're trying to be proactive because they probably got sued. So now that was part of the lawsuit to notify their customers or something. Because I'm like, why are you telling me? Why do you care? So,
Yeah.
Wow, this has been so informative, so much great information. Security with this age of social media, internet, cyber, we got to be extra careful, everybody. Seems like common sense in some areas, but a lot of this is like, what? Really? Huh? So take that away. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate you. Eran Sinai has been here with us, so you can check out his site if you need any more questions on security issues matter. I think real estate agents definitely, because you do a lot of work with the real estate agents helping all aspects of the process. And you're watching Karla Dawn Live. I'm Karla Gordy Bristol. Dawn is my middle name. I keep getting that question asked. What is Dawn? Who is Dawn? It is me. And I'll see you next Wednesday at 5:30. If you have any further questions, feel free to post. I'd love for you to share this with people because security is so important, and others, I'm sure, would appreciate receiving this information. Have a great evening. Make somebody smile today and spread love and kindness. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. It's been wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay.